10 out of 10. Like, would you expect anything lower? Like, 10 out of fucking 10 for this episode of Dragon Ball Super. Like, hands down, the best episode in Super thus far. Like, this is literally the first episode of Super where I, like, closed the browser with a smile on my face. Like, I felt like a kid again watching Dragon Ball Z. And, like, this episode just gave me so much nostalgia of how I used to feel watching new episodes of Dragon Ball Z. Like, the epicness, the fight scenes, and everything. And this episode was no exception. Let's get straight into the review. First half of this episode, Hit was the star. Like, there's no question about it. Hit stole the show. Why did he steal the show? Well, he literally shat all over the Dragon Ball Z mythos and logic. You're probably asking yourself, how in the world does one guy just shit over everything Dragon Ball Z stood for? If you guys know Dragon Ball Z, which if you're watching this review, you probably do, but if you know Dragon Ball Z, you know that the whole core of the series is transformations. No matter what enemy shows up, no matter what hero takes the stand, the main drive of the show is transformations. And that's how every single character ends up trumping another, through transformations, powering up, and all that jazz. And whether you want to admit it or not, deep down, that was the main reason why we loved watching Dragon Ball Z, like seeing what the next transformation would be for the villain or the hero and how much stronger they would become. Now, this episode of Dragon Ball Super kind of made fun of all those tropes in Dragon Ball Z. The first trope being Goku asking Hit, like, oh, you scream as well when you're powering up? I thought only Saiyans did that. Like, I honestly thought that would be a question that would never be asked by any character in Dragon Ball Z, because I figured, hey, why would it need to be? I mean, it's just part of their lore, their world. Like, you scream when you power up, no questions asked. But now it's like, it seems like a trait that they see that they do, Saiyans, and just like Goku's asking Hit, like, oh, you scream as well when you're powering up. That's kind of strange a little bit. But the other part that shadowed all over the mythos was Hit saying, or actually criticizing Goku, that you guys get stronger by just transforming. And at the end of the day, that's really what it is. Like, Goku at some point, he has gotten stronger through training and just bettering himself, like through strength and speed and whatnot. But in Dragon Ball Z, what really drove home, what really set all the characters apart in terms of what they could do against the villains and whatnot, was transformations. And Hit just like laid it out for them. He's like, yo, you guys can't really do anything unless you transform. So what does Hit do when Goku is just pushing him back, you know, towards the edge of the arena? Like, he's really giving Hit a work for his money. What does Hit do when Goku's pushing him back? He tells him he improves. Like, that right there was just fucking amazing. Like, I loved how he shat all over, like, DBZ's transformation techniques. And he's like, yo, you guys transform, I improve. Remember that 0.1 second crap that you guys couldn't handle before? Can you try 0.2? How about 0.5? Hit in the first half of this episode was fucking amazing. Like, I just loved his character. I loved how he actually challenged the typical Dragon Ball Z stuff that always went down. And overall, a great first half for this fight between Hit and Super Saiyan Blue Goku. Now, the second half of this episode, you guys already know why I just fucking, like, I was almost gonna like shit my pants at the beginning of the video. Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. Before I get into this, this literally freaks me out a little bit, because I shit you not, I made a post about this on Dragon Ball Z Amino. For those of you that don't know about Dragon Ball Z Amino, it's basically an iOS and Android app where you can go in and discuss like all sorts of topics on Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super and whatnot. And you just, you know, say your thoughts and, you know, have discussions with other fellow Dragon Ball Z fans. And literally, I believe it was like in the morning yesterday or on Saturday, I made a post about Kaioken and how, like, to me, like, from, like, through all of Dragon Ball Z, Kaioken is my favorite form in terms of just like getting my adrenaline pumping. And the reason why I gave it was because, you know, the red hue and the instability of the aura going around Kaioken and the speed, it was always a form that really intrigued me, and I wondered why it was never implemented past the Frieza saga back when Goku didn't have Super Saiyan. And then towards the end of the post, I asked, wouldn't it be cool if Kaioken made a return in Dragon Ball Super? Because for Universe 6, like, a lot of these fights were paying homage to all the old school techniques and moves from other characters, like Vegeta's Final Flash, his Gallic Gun, Piccolo's like clone technique, his Special Beam Cannon. Like, there was so much homage to old techniques abound. And when Goku went Kaioken, I honestly felt like I used Time Leap by like a whole day. Like an entire day, I mastered Hit's technique and I was able to Time Leap a whole day and see like, hey, Kaioken's gonna be in the next episode. So that really threw me through a loop. I was shocked personally from that because it freaked me out. Like, I literally just talked about this yesterday and now we're seeing it. Now, to go into the episode with Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, this form like immediately opens so many doors. And I know the first thing people are going to say is, oh, well, Super Saiyan Kaioken was introduced back in the Overworld tournament, so I don't know why it's being used now. I understand that, but technically that was filler. And, you know, Toriyama never once used Kaioken in combination with transformation like Super Saiyan in the manga at all. So, yeah, it was in the anime, but no one really considered it as an actual transformation just because, you know, it wasn't technically canon. But now it's like official. Like, now Goku is utilizing Kaioken, and I love how he's like saying that this is the time to use it because Super Saiyan Blue combines calmness of the mind and ki control. And that was the main reason why he never used Kaioken with any of the other forms like Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, because those forms were unstable as is. Combining that with Kaioken, he probably will last like a few seconds at most. And he doesn't even last that long with Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. And like, as soon as he turned into this form, he went to ×10. And he just laid the fuck out of Hit. Like, he was just beating the shit out of him. And then we hear the Dragon Ball Super opening in the background. Like, this episode, oh my god, hands down the best episode of Super, like, up until now. Like, I just got goosebumps watching this. I smiled watching this. It reminded me of Dragon Ball Z to the letter. And it was just fucking amazing. Now, as for what doors this opens for Dragon Ball Super, it opens so many because, as you know, Goku has yet to master Kaioken, combining it with Super Saiyan Blue. Like, he said it before he even transformed, I only have like 10% left. So, or no, he said there's a 10% chance that this will succeed, and if it doesn't, I might die or whatever. So it's a very risky technique, but of course, you know, Goku, he is going to perfect it to some extent. So knowing this, how far ahead is he with Beerus? Because let's scale back a little bit. Super Saiyan God, the red hair, that form pushed Beerus quite a bit. Beerus said he used 80% of his strength against Goku, which of course he was using 100%. Like, he was going all in and he could, you know, kind of, you know, get Beerus a run for his money, but Beerus still had an edge over him. Fast forward to Super Saiyan Blue. We have yet to see Goku go up against Beerus in Super Saiyan Blue, but we all know that Super Saiyan Blue is stronger than Super Saiyan God. So it makes you wonder, can he go toe-to-toe with Beerus right now? Is he already stronger than Beerus? It makes you wonder. And now that Kaioken is thrown into the mix, all the way up to ×10, that means Super Saiyan Blue power ×10. Does Beerus stand a chance? Like, I don't know. I really don't know. Like, I would think he could kick Beerus' ass. Goku can. And just seeing Vegeta watching from the sidelines, like all the old school Dragon Ball Z episodes where he was just pissed that Goku was always one step ahead of him. It's so much nostalgia in those moments. I felt bad for Vegeta because he came a long way from where he was in Dragon Ball Z. Like, he was like pretty much evenly matched with Goku, and now Goku has that one step ahead of him again because Kaioken. And for all you guys that know, Goku can go higher in Kaioken levels. He could go up to Kaioken ×20. I believe there was one time he went ×100. I'm not entirely sure on that, but I know he went up to ×20 when he went up against Frieza, but just for like a split second or so. But this opens so many doors for Super Saiyan Blue with Kaioken, And it makes you wonder, is Vegeta gonna learn it? Is Goku gonna teach it to him? You know, what is gonna happen? Because right now, in terms of power, regardless of how long his power lasts, Goku is stronger than Vegeta. Like, I'm sorry, he is. For however long his form lasts, he is stronger than Vegeta right now. So Vegeta is either gonna have to learn Kaioken or learn some kind of other secret technique. But guys, just this episode, oh my god. Like, there were a few instances where the art was a little bit off, like on Vados' face and whatnot, but you know, at this point, I'm just gonna accept that that's gonna be the case in every episode, like some form of bad art. But this episode, 10 out of fucking 10, the perfect Dragon Ball Super episode. Animation, fights, revelations, quite a few hilarious moments with Hit, like just, you know, bashing the Saiyans and Goku like transforming to get stronger, and he just improves in the middle of a fight faster than Saiyans, by the way, which Vegeta pointed out in this episode. So that was definitely cool on Hit, like, you know, on Hit's abilities. So let me know what you all think in the comments below. Again, this opens the door, guys. Like, we need to discuss this. I want to hear what you all have to theorize down below about what Kaioken can bring to the table. How much stronger can Goku get in this form? And let's just talk about it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. But if you enjoyed this video at all, or this perfected episode of Dragon Ball Super, leave me a thumbs up down below. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, here you go. Click that subscribe box right here. You'll stay up to date with all my future videos and content. I will love you forever. Oh man, my heart is still pounding with that super greatness right now. But I'm AjaxTheMr, and as always, folks, thanks for watching.